Hello, I'm Pierre Campbell, and thank you for visiting pierrecamp.com and watching the Leadership Network. Today, we are going to get radical. I'm telling you, we're going to get radical because we have an opportunity to have a great conversation with Doreen Rainey, the Get Radical Success Coach, the Get Radical Success Coach. Doreen Rainey, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me in your home. This is an honor.
Oh, well, I thank you for coming out to my home. I'm excited about spending this time with you and being a part of your leadership camp.
Yes. So what I really wanted to talk to you about is how impactful is the fact that you're championing this Empowerment Women's Conference. Like, what even made you think about putting on this conference?
Well, it's interesting because this conference was born out of my coaching practice. And when I first started my business, the bulk of what I was doing was working with my clients one-on-one.
Okay.
And which is a fantastic way to get transformational change with people. But I wanted to reach a bigger audience. I wanted a bigger platform to share with people this process of how you can absolutely create the life that you want. And what better way to do that than through a conference where we could draw hundreds and hundreds of people from around the world and give them this information so that they can go home and then put into practice that information, those tools and those strategies that we've given to them.
Right. And that's exactly what a coach does, right?
Yeah.
You give information so that people go home and then they put the practice and the work in. Exactly. That's what a coach does.
That's what a coach does. And you know, the way I work with my clients is I absolutely believe everyone who comes to me is already whole. They're not missing anything. They're not lacking anything. The challenge is that wholeness has been buried.
Okay.
It's been buried under society, past experiences, disappointments, setbacks, failures, bills, mortgages, jobs you don't like, husbands you don't like, kids that are driving you crazy.
Right.
And somewhere, the total you, who you are on the inside, has got pushed down. And so what I do when I work with my clients is I help them reach back in to who they are and draw out that purpose, draw out that passion, draw out those gifts so that they can share them with the world.
Wow.
I always say one of my favorite quotes, I start a lot of my sessions with this, is from Henry David Thoreau.
Okay.
Most men lead lives of quiet desperation and go to the grave with the song still in them.
Wow.
So I work with people to get that song out into the world before they go to the grave.
And this is your song.
This is my song.
This is your song.
This is my song.
Okay. All right.
My song is that the gift that I have of communication, the gift that I have of using my intuition and the ability to see the greatness in people that they may not be able to see in themselves, and then help them become confident enough, become bold enough, become courageous enough, become radical enough to then do something with that.
Right. So what does get radical mean? What does that
radical means to define success for yourself.
Okay.
Because many times we get our definitions of success from outside sources. Okay. So the media will tell us what success looks like.
Yeah.
Celebrities will tell us what success looks like.
Right.
Maybe your parents or your boss or friends or your environment will tell you what you should be doing to be successful. And the reality is that we all have our definition of success. And we need to decide what that is for ourselves so that then we can do the second part of what it means to get radical, which is to get the guts to go after it.
Ooh.
Because many people know what their goals are.
Okay.
Many people can say, I want to do this, or I know I'm good at this, or this is what I want to spend my time doing. But then when it's time to take that step, when it's time to do, it all falls apart. And so I say get radical is number one, defining success for yourself, and then number two, getting the guts to go after it.
Wow. You know, it's interesting. I think that everyone has a definition of success, but I'm interested in learning your definition for failure. Because it's such a powerful thing. You know, you can look at it in so many different ways. But
my definition of failure is success. Because there is not one person. You cannot tell me Donald Trump, you cannot tell me Barack Obama, you cannot tell me Mother Teresa, you cannot tell me any person that has reached their level of success that has not failed.
You hear that? Do you hear that? Replay that.
Yes, and the problem is that so many of us are afraid to fail.
Okay.
And you can't get to where you want to go without setbacks, disappointments, and failures. It's not possible.
That's right.
Now, that doesn't mean they have to be catastrophic.
That's right.
That doesn't mean, the whole world has to crumble around you, but it does mean that you can't worry about what people think.
Mm-hmm.
It does mean that you can't worry about the risk that you're taking if the reward is that you're actually going to have something that you really and truly want.
Wow.
So when people talk to me about failure, it's like, I hope you're failing.
Right.
I hope so. Because
Right.
if you're not, that means you're not doing anything.
Right.
That means you're really not playing big. And we need to be playing big in this world.
Let's play big.
Yes.
Let's play big. I like that, man, too. But you talk about lack.
Mm-hmm.
How would you define lack, and how could you encourage someone to wrap their mind around what lack is and how they can get away from lack?
Lack is when you are missing something in your life that you know is for you.
Right.
And so many people suffer lack because of fear.
Okay.
And when you allow fear to take the place of faith, when you allow fear to take the place of effort, when you allow fear to take place of trying, then you're inviting lack into your life. And one of the tips, strategies, or things I say to my clients is we are 100% responsible for ourselves.
Yes.
And so if you are experiencing lack in your life, then you need to ask yourself, what have I done? What choices have I made?
Right.
What have I settled for that has allowed me to be in this position of lack?
Right.
And then the great news about that is that if you have chosen to put yourself in lack, you can now choose to take yourself out of lack.
Okay, okay.
And so you just begin to make different choices.
Okay.
And you'll see that lack begin to dissipate in your life.
Okay, all right. So, I know you've worked in HR for many, many years, and you were very successful in HR, which is human resources management. What made you, jump out? Something must have happened. Can you pinpoint or remember the time or the experience that made you say, you know what, I'm going to build up the courage and step out on faith, like you say, and do what you're doing now?
Well, it's interesting because my career in human resources actually led me to this career in coaching.
Okay.
Because I spent so much time, a lot of my time, in what we would call employee relations. So performance management issues, counseling, employee engagement, training and development. And I became fascinated with the two types of people that I began to see in the jobs I worked, the companies I worked in.
Right.
And there were those who seemed to excel and seemed to do well, and then there were those who were stagnant.
Okay.
And I began to see what's the difference, my own personal study, what's the difference between those who succeed and those who seem to kind of stumble along the way. And as I began to observe more and more people, I could almost pinpoint when we'd hire somebody which category people would fall into.
Wow.
And it's interesting because those who excel quickly are those who understand that they're 100% responsible.
Okay.
And so many times people who don't always reach the type of success they're looking for is because they're looking for outside sources to give it to them. The company, the boss, the executive board, the compensation committee.
Right.
And regardless of your external circumstances, you should always be your best. You should always do your best. You should always give your best. And when you do that, your attitude that goes along with that is that I'm responsible. And if doing my best here doesn't get me where I want to go, then I'm going to go somewhere else and do my best.
Right.
But I don't say, well, they're not treating me right. So I'm not going to do any more than the minimum.
5 o'clock.
Right.
I'm out of here. Right.
Because
I see what you're saying.
It's an integrity issue. If you're going to excel, then be excellent all the time.
Wow.
And when I began to notice that, I began to see that the people who maybe weren't excellent all the time, sometimes it was because they didn't know. They didn't realize that they're responsible. And so I found myself talking to more and more people about how to create their satisfaction without depending on the company to do that.
So you were coaching, you were literally
I was doing that inside. And then I found out how many people were miserable. How many people weren't happy? People who thought they didn't have a choice. I've got a mortgage, I've got 2 kids, I can't quit, I can't leave, I'm stuck, whatever they say. And we're always in choice. We always have a choice. Always.
You're right.
You may not be able to implement that choice immediately, but you always have a choice. And then based on that choice, you can begin to take action that will ultimately lead you to the result that you're looking for.
Some product here. Talk to me about the Get Radical 7 Steps for taking charge. Talk to me about this product here.
Well, this is my Get Radical audio self-study program. And the Radical process is actually a system. It's 7 steps that I take my clients through to help them create personal transformation so that they know what they want and then are clear of how to get it. And so this program here is audio CDs, and it has a workbook that goes along with it so that you can work through each of those steps at your own pace. And it talks about understanding, first of all, that you deserve it. Most people don't believe that they really deserve what it is they want.
How do they get to the point where they can believe? What do they have to do?
Well, it's interesting because a lot of times people come to me confident about what they want.
I
just need to figure out how to get there. I just need to know what to do.
Right.
And, one of the first things we talk about is, well, do you know you deserve it? Yes, absolutely, I deserve it. And then when we get into the coaching and it's time to take action, they're not doing what they're supposed to be doing. And so when you get stuck, we have to talk about that. And what comes up is that ultimately they have a head knowledge that they deserve, but they don't have a heart knowledge.
A head knowledge and a heart knowledge.
It's two different things. You can know something in your head.
Right.
We know how to lose weight.
That's right. But do we do it?
Right.
Do we eat the potato chips or do we eat the vegetables and the broccoli?
Exactly. You go to work, you know what it takes to get that promotion.
That's right.
So it's not what we know in our head. There's this thing now, Google.com.
Right.
Google, you get all the information you want.
That's true.
You get everything.
That's true.
Everything you ever wanted to know, you can go to Google.com. But yet, people still are in jobs they don't want to be in. They're struggling with disciplining and raising their children. Relationships are jacked up. People are spiritually bankrupt.
Wow.
So it's not information. So it has to be something else. And that information is what's in our head. And so there has to be a transformation of what's in your head to what's in your heart, so that then you're so purposeful and so committed to the heart that it dictates your outward actions. That it's no longer, I don't need willpower not to eat the potato chips. Because in my heart, I understand that my health is so important to me that I deserve to be around for my grandchildren. I deserve to live a life free of medication. I deserve to be able to walk and be active into my 80s and my 90s. So when you know that in your heart, then it's not, no, I'm not interested in the potato chips. When you know in your heart that you want a multi-million-dollar company where you can go out and you can serve the world and you can serve your community and you can leave a legacy, then what is it to study at night? What is it to get a coach or a mentor? What is it to even change jobs, to take a pay cut so that you can get in the field that you want to ultimately be in? It's, so when we struggle, it's a head thing, and we have to make it a heart thing.
It's a head thing. That's one of the things that women do. I don't know. The intuition is somewhere between here and here. To me, I think that's where it lies.
Right. It's in here.
Okay.
It's in here.
Oh, okay.
It's in your heart.
I'm getting,
It's in your gut, and you have to learn that you can't just hear it and feel it. You have to be committed enough to act on it.
Right. All right. And that's why you're here. So this what 13.1 miles can teach you. Tell me about that transformation that happened for you. And
well, that is a recording of a keynote that I do a lot about a half marathon that I trained and completed in celebration of my birthday.
Never asked a woman what's their birthday.
And let me tell you, no matter whether it's a marathon, whether it's starting a business, if you want to transform who you are as a person, set a big, radical, audacious goal.
So we talked about the Get Radical 7 Steps, 13.1 miles. Now let's talk about becoming a better you.
Well, this is a collection of 5 teleclasses that I've done over the years that really highlight some of the 5 major areas that we tend to struggle in. So there's an audio in there about personal responsibility. And there's a lesson in there about, how to overcome your setbacks and your challenges. One of the interviews on there is with Amy Barnes, who was our Radical Woman of the Year in 2010. And she had overcome an extremely abusive relationship.
Wow.
I mean, she was stabbed, she lost her kids, and in the midst of all of that, she had ballooned up to just under 500 pounds. And when she decided to take her life back, she left her abuser, worked to get her children back, and lost over 340 pounds through diet and exercise.
Wow.
And now she's a personal trainer. She helps people get fit. She talks about domestic violence.
Wow.
And it's when we really decide that we are worth it, that we deserve it, that we actually step up and do the things that we need to do.
That's exciting. That's exciting. She lost that much, and then now she's giving back.
Giving back.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. So this looks like music here. I know y'all love music.
Music is very important in our household.
Okay.
And, I personally think everybody should have a theme song.
Right.
Everybody should have...
I know your theme song. I won't sing it right now, but I know your theme song.
So not only do I have a theme song, but I have a theme album. And these are motivational and inspirational songs that can infuse you with energy.
Right.
And I know that people work hard. I know that sometimes you get frustrated, you get weary, and you need a pickup.
That's right.
You need a pick-me-up, and you need a pick-me-up quick. You can't we don't spend days and weeks wallowing in our weariness. You got to get back up.
That's right.
And music is one of the quickest ways to shift your energy. If you find a song that motivates you, if you find a song that excites you, then you need to make sure it's on your phone, in your car, in your office, and just take those 3 or 4 minutes, play that song, get up, dance, move your body, shift your energy.
Right.
And just in that short amount of time, you'll feel rejuvenated, revitalized to go back in and do what you need to do.
Yeah, so Get Radical album here. I like it. I'm going to get it too. So, this Get Radical Women's Conference, there's some heavy hitters on there. I mean, you're the biggest heavy hitter. To me, personally, you're the biggest heavy hitter.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
But you've got some heavy hitters on there, some really strong, powerful women that you've brought into the DC metro area, and I commend you for that, because
they don't come often.
No, exactly. So on the East Coast, I'm looking and I'm saying, wow, you're bringing these really powerful women to come and empower other women.
Absolutely.
Susie Orman.
Yes, we have a fantastic
these people
lineup.
Right.
And the conference is March 30th through April 1st. It's a 3-day experience.
Okay.
It's not your typical conference. This is an experience. We are fully committed to helping people get educated, helping them network, helping them have fun. And we have, in addition to myself, we have Susie Orman, like you mentioned, the financial expert. Right. We have Jillian Michaels, who many of you may know from The Biggest Loser, or you may know from the show The Doctors. And now she's currently out working with former President Bill Clinton on his initiative for health and wellness. And so she's going to be there talking about how to create your unlimited life. Right. We have Allie Brown, which is an incredible woman entrepreneur who built a multi-million-dollar company from nothing. Wow. And she's also my coach.
Okay, so, all right.
So she's talking about tools and strategies that women need to possess to succeed, whether you're in corporate America or whether you're starting your own business. We have the fantastic Lisa Nichols, who an incredible mover of your soul, spirit and soul. I remember the first time I saw her live. In 10 minutes, I was like completely transformed in 10 minutes. And I said, I've got to have her at my conference. Right. And not only did I have to have her at my conference, but I'm like, I need that transformational connection for me, and then also to deliver to my clients. And so she's my coach as well. So I have multiple coaches.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm noticing that. I'm learning as I'm going as well.
Yes. And then we have the incredible Monique Greenwood, who was the former editor of Essence Magazine, and who now owns the very successful Aquaba Bed and Breakfast Inns up and down the East Coast. And she's going to be talking about when your dream job does not deliver your dream life.
Wow. I think we have some footage, right? I think we have some footage to show folks so they can really get a experience, a snapshot of the conference. So.
All right, ladies, how has today been for you? Woo! Hey, I'm so excited that you've gotten what you've wanted to get out of this. I've talked to a lot of you in the hallways, and so it's always good to hear that you're getting exactly what you need out of this conference.
I have simply enjoyed it. It has helped me immensely, and I'm ready to tackle my goals now.
Hey, it's Bob Harper from The Biggest Loser. I introduced Jillian Michaels. Get radical.
Will be one of the best decisions you can make.
Hey, it's me, Sherry Shepherd from The View. Hello to all you radical women. Oh, I know you guys are having a great time at Doreen's annual Get Radical Women's Conference. So please welcome my really good and bestie friend, Niecy Nash. Hey, I know that she's here because she supports Doreen's mission and wants only the best for all of you.
These hard times and the things that we go through, they stretch us. They grow us. They sculpt us. I was bold. I was courageous. I was radical.
You gotta do something radical. You've got to do something big, because that's the only way you can break a cycle.
People come up to me all the time and say, Rhonda, I'm really afraid of success. Fear of success is really fear of responsibility. My 20s, I hopped from job to job to job, and I thought something was wrong with me because I couldn't find a job that made me happy. And I was like, I want to change things, I want to do things, but I felt so different.
When you eliminate things that don't serve you, you make room for things that do serve you. There is a whole world out there waiting to give you what you want. It is antsy to give it to you, but you're holding it up because you won't let go of all the stuff that's in the place where that stuff should be. You can bend it, you can twist it with some small steps and small successes, and I absolutely believe in small steps and small successes. But when you are really ready to play big, you have to do something to break that fear, break those bad habits, break that bad thinking. And so when I say the people who I bring to this conference, they represent that. Our job is to help you stop, breathe, slow down, and figure out for yourself what it is you want for you.
That was awesome. That was absolutely awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be even better.
Okay.
Off the chain.
So where can we find you? Where can folks find your material? How can they get in contact with you?
Well, they can go to my website, which is doreenrainey.com, and I would love to connect with you. You can get for free my Radical Success Starter Kit,
Wow.
which gets you on the path to creating your radical life. And then, of course, we would love to see you at our conference.
Yes.
And you can visit getradicalconference.com and make sure that you register and bring your friend for free.
Why would you say people need to watch shows like this, like the Leadership Network? How would you say that people?
Because you cannot do it by yourself. No one achieves their success alone. And it's not just what you're doing that gives you success, it's what you're feeding yourself that gives you success. So you want health and wellness, and you think about the food that you put in your body, but you also need to give your brain, your inner soul, that same nourishment. And like you said today, when you came in, we were listening to Jack Canfield.
That's right.
You know, 2012, I tell people this all the time. I declare 2012 the year of Jack.
Really?
It's the year of Jack for me.
Okay.
I am doing all of his programs again. I'm going back into all of his success principles and all of his leadership principles that he shares and some of his exercises. And so a program like this for people gives them the tools and the information they need. And it's not something that you don't watch this program once.
No.
You don't watch this program once.
Watch it over.
You watch it over and over again. I love what Lisa Nichols told me. She said, don't be a fast learner, be a thorough learner. And so if you do nothing else but watch each of these episodes every single time it comes on and then go back 2 or 3 times to make sure you're getting all of the information that is relevant to helping you transform your life, then it doesn't matter if you get to this book or that book or whatever. It's about being thorough. And a show like this has so much information, so much strategies, and you can't tell me you've implemented them all. I just don't believe that. And so you need to revisit over and over again to make sure you milk this type of program for everything it has.
Wow, thank you very much. Thank you. It's been a pleasure speaking with you.
Oh, I've
and
enjoyed it.
I know I can't get the inside VIP ticket to the women's conference, but it's okay. I'm going to encourage my wife because I've learned how. I've been coached by Doreen Rainey.
Yes.
As always, thank you very much for watching the Pierre Camp channel. God bless you. And remember, you are a leader.